This podcast is brought to you by Radio786.
Now, the City of Cape Town has been slapped with a criminal investigation following allegations of sewage pollution at Strandfontein Beach. The Cape Independent Party, also known as CAPEXIT, lodged a criminal complaint last week citing negligence on the side of the municipality. According to CAPEXIT's Cllr Bodin, the Water and Sanitation Directorate failed to provide a plan to treat the raw sewage which gushed onto Strandfontein Beach and along False Bay. The CAPEXIT's Cllr Bodin joins us now. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome and hello to the listeners.
Karl, how was the party made aware of this raw sewage pollution on Strandfontein Beach and along False Bay?
I'm one of the party's city councillors and we work across the city of Cape Town, and residents of Strandfontein contacted us and complained that the city had not been addressing this long time coming issue of sewage being pumped into the ocean.
And I mean, just looking at that and just the effects of that, because we may have an incident in Strandfontein Beach, but of course it has affected large parts of False Bay as well. Now, taking it further and having a criminal case being lodged against the city to hold them accountable, could there have been a different approach, I suppose, before going to the courts?
Absolutely. This is an absolute last resort. I approached the mayor, the city manager, and the mayoral committee member for water and sanitation, as well as the MACO member for health. And the only response I received was from Councillor Bodin, MACO member for water and sanitation, who did not address the factual lab results as well as the interpretation of these lab results by Professor Jo Barnes, who says in her report that these are extremely high levels of E. coli, and this is an urgent matter that the city needs to take urgent action, not only for the environment, but in terms of our health. And so I addressed the matter, I wasn't getting any joy with the city, so I addressed the matter with the National Office of the Dept of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment. At that stage, that was beginning of April, Minister Creasy responded immediately and launched an investigation. The investigation at that stage proved that the city does not have a permit to discharge raw effluent into the waters of False Bay or any coastal water for that matter. They continued their investigation. Eventually, they issued a notice a warning of intended notice to be served on them. They received representation from the city appealing this, and the city, or rather the Department of the DFFE is still in the throes of deciding whether they're going to issue a final notice, which is a fine, that they fine the city, but we were not going to wait any longer. This has been dragging on since beginning of April. I did the site inspection in March, and this has been coming for decades. The DA City of Cape Town has been in charge of water and sanitation and in charge of the city for more than 2 decades. And to just ignore the sewage results and not come with a concrete plan, that is worrying to us, and it's worrying to the citizens of Cape Town. We then took the next step of approaching registering a criminal case docket at Strandfontein Police Station last Wednesday, and the matter will now be investigated by the Dept of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment. And so we look forward to prosecutions in that regard.
Okay, we're going to have to wait and see. But thank you so much for your time this afternoon, Karl Bodin. He is a member of CAPEXIT, also a councillor in the City of Cape Town, raising concerns around raw sewage and sewage pollution flowing into Strandfontein Beach and therefore also spreading out across False Bay. Of course, there are these concerns around how it's going to impact on public health, as well as concerns around just pollution being in that area in the first place.
This podcast is brought to you by Radio786.